We're delighted to have with us today Alec Penix, a celebrity trainer who's worked with the likes of singer and fitness model Shawn Mendes and Julianne and Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars. Alec, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So in your book, you have this audible called Born Again Epiphany. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it's honestly a day that I would never forget, obviously. It started when I was in Mexico for a wedding for my clients, Carlos and Alexa Penavega. They were also on Dancing with the Stars, and the night before, we were having a good time. So I'll let you guys read in between the lines on that. But I was enjoying my time.
Sure.
And the next day, for the next morning, I woke up, or afternoon, I should say, woke up not feeling my best, and also like it was a tough time for me. I was in a dark time in my life, and of course I wasn't feeling very good from the night before. But I was lying in bed, and I tell everyone I heard a voice at that point in time, because that was actually the first time that I ever prayed out loud.
Wow.
Yeah, that I ever prayed to God for that matter. And I tell everyone I heard a voice, and they're like, "Alec, you were hungover." And I was like, "No, I swear I heard a voice," and that voice said, "Alec, it is time to become that man I've called you to be." And at that point in time, my life changed forever. And that was when my walk began. And
right after that crazy night.
Yeah, I was on fire. I tell everyone that I was apprehended by God. That literally, like, I was thrown into it, and like I had a fire for it. And with that walk, it just really transformed my life from the inside out.
Prior to that traumatic experience, was religion ever really part of your life at all?
No, it's like remember going to school for like your first time, and you're crying, and your parents like, "You have to go." You're like, "No, I want to stay home."
Yeah.
Like I remember my mom like taking me to church, and I was like, "I don't want to. Like I don't want to go to church." And that was really the only experience I've ever had when it comes to my relationship with God. And so that's why it's sort of ironic that I had sort of such a profound experience.
What made you get involved with fitness and then obviously combine it with faith?
It was sort of fitness and working out was sort of a natural thing for me. It was like an artist. They are gifted. When I first walked into a weight room, I just was strong. I was stronger than most people that were even older than I was. And so I just kind of, once I was done playing football, I kind of transformed that energy into training other people. And so ever since I moved out to LA, and I wanted to sort of transition from athlete to aesthetics, to getting people ready to be in front of the camera, looking their best. And then I had my spiritual encounter. And it was like downloaded within me. It was like, I want you to combine these two. From the very beginning, I had that like epiphany, that aha moment. And ever since then, it was just about, really being able to articulate it in a way that people could understand it. And what do you mean by that? And, thankfully with my book, 7 Sundays, I felt like I had a way to really explain that to people and guide people to have that sort of strengthening.
Even though you played sports and obviously been in fitness most of your life, you actually were bullied as a kid, correct?
Yeah, I was.
Tell us about that.
I was. Well, it started when I was younger, and I was diagnosed with a learning disability, and ever since that, it was throughout school. Kids would call me stupid or SPED, which means special education or whatever, and that. I didn't realize the type of impact that had on my life until I had my encounter with God, and I was starting to look within. And I tell everyone that the biggest thing that I learned from my past is that it was the difference between motivated action and inspired action. Motivated action came from pain and hate and trying to prove to myself and to other people that I was going to make it and I was going to be successful. And then now, after I've gone through this healing, it's about I want to be a vessel. I want to be inspired to do the things I do.
Love that.
Yeah.
In this book, you talk about the 6 pillars of purpose. What is that?
The six pillars, it's really focused off of an acronym that I picked. I just felt like I needed to remind myself that I was chosen, that we're all created in God's image. And I really break it down. We have three of the spiritual elements, and then you have the physical. Yeah, the spiritual is conceding, honoring, and offering. And what I love about that compared to other exercise and diet books is the fact that you have sort of that spiritual side, that I asked you to go out into, get in the community, get your hands dirty, and give back in a sense. And then with the physical, it's really just pretty basic in terms of just teaching the foundations of exercise, of sleep and nutrition, and combining those two simultaneously will transform someone's life.
Obviously I'm a fitness guy. It's what I do too, training celebrities, and fitness has so much negativity because of social media, and you see so many people pushing the envelope and taking sex to the highest power. Totally. And I think what you're doing is phenomenal in terms of, you're the one that's really trying to exude positivity, and then having a spiritual component to it, that you can still be positive and you can still be uplifting to the Lord while still trying to transform others. So I think that's a really, really cool thing, and it makes what you're doing unique.
Yeah, I think so, and with having that spiritual side to it, it makes it a journey. Absolutely. That it's not just exercise is not just a means to an end to get that six pack, to look good for social media, but it's about transforming your life, finding something, this journey that works for you, that you can go into the weight room or exercise and eat healthy and want to do those things.
Do you feel the faith-based community supports what you're doing? Have you ever gotten any negative feedback by your brand?
No, I think that from everyone I've talked to, they want it. They feel that they need it, and I've talked to people all around the world in their experience with their walk, and some people that have grown up in a family that is faith-based, and that part wasn't really taught about taking care of yourself. It was about serving and about giving back, but then neglecting yourself.
Sure. Right.
And I want to empower people to say it's okay to want to take care of yourself, to give yourself that love. When you fill yourself up, we're going to have much more to give.
Absolutely.
We're going to have strong bodies, strong mind, right?
Right.
And so I've gotten positive feedback.
Do not change that tune. We're going to finish this conversation. We'll be right back.
We thought we'd bring these two guys together to talk about merging their faith and their passions. One through fitness, the other through music. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Alec, the name of your book is called 7 Sundays. Now, why? Why 7 Sundays?
Well, as you know, 7 is a holy number. It's a number that embodies and symbolizes completion, and it's not about completing the entire journey of 7 Sundays. It's about I want people to know that you're whole and complete right now, today, and that's the whole aspect of the devotional, is taking one day at a time and finding that wholeness without trying to lose that weight and gain that muscle.
There's a lot of faith and fitness books out there. What makes yours different?
I believe it's the spiritual element, for sure. It's the acknowledging the fact that every morning that that there's a God, and that source is there for you every single day, and being sort of regimented in terms of your praying habits and what you read and what you bring in, and then also the offering part. I love that, going out. I say the easiest way to get over depression is to give back, and so that whole offering side of it really just gets you out of your own head and just out into the community.
Cole, I wanted to revisit something. Bullying is a big deal.
Totally.
And it's a big deal to me because I'm the father of a son who'll be 12 in a few weeks. Okay. And he is autistic, high-functioning autistic. And I've seen him, myself, bullied twice in our faith community since December. Once in the faith community, one by an adult.
Really?
And then one by a kid, I think, who's trying to be cool by picking on him. Yeah. And because of that, he doesn't want to go back to his Bible study class.
I get that.
He'll go to church service with us, but he doesn't want to go back there. So as people of faith who've been bullied, and you've been bullied in the faith community, what would you say to any kid out there who has gone to his church, synagogue, wherever it might be, has been bullied and doesn't want to go back?
We're all broken. and having that perspective and understanding that that person feels a sense of deep down inside shame and guilt for the things that they do, even though if they're not aware of it necessarily. But having that perspective that you can put yourself in that person's shoes and have that sense of empathy for them and compassion can really help your forgiveness in the process and help you become healed and get over those people that have hurt you.
I'm hoping my son will listen to you guys because he's not listening to me. Maybe he'll listen to these guys.
One day he's going to look back and he's going to realize how strong he is.
I hope so.
You know, and that everything he went through, he can now be a testimony for the people that are actually going through that now. So one day he'll understand.
You know, you talked about strength, and both of you guys, with what you do, there are all sorts of temptations, and you talk about the desires of the world, you're in fitness, and a lot of. How do you deal with the world rushing into your life and you maintain your integrity?
I think that for me, in my own experience, there was a lot of guilt and shame attached to things that, you know, that I was struggling with. And when I tried to do things out of my own strength, I seemed to fail. You know, so
that.
Yeah. But
you look pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. but once I had a sense of freedom with that relationship with the things I struggled with, I didn't have as much focus and intention, and I didn't put as much energy in those things, and it just kind of just drifted away. And I was like, well, why didn't I know about this before? You know, and once you focus on how when you have a sense of that freedom and you continue on the path of just feeling better, right?
Guys, thanks for being here. We'll be right back.